thankful for. I have a special reason to give thanks, for I have been able to witness a lot of White House history firsthand. I'm Barbara Walters, and I am thankful that I can go from the White House into your house. For all of us at ABC News, good night.
Every day, more Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
Hallmark Hall of Fames, Christmas in Conway, Sunday, 9/8 Central on ABC.
The thought I had, I even said to my wife, he's gonna wreck.
New details in a deadly crash on the Ohio Turnpike tonight, the latest on the investigation and the driver accused of causing the fiery accident. And cleanup continues in Willard after a train derailed, spilling thousands of chemicals near a neighborhood.
Plus, we're at the Big House getting ready for tomorrow's border battle between the Buckeyes and the Wolverines.
But first, we start with the new details tonight in a deadly crash on the Ohio Turnpike. The driver is now behind bars after crashing into a van and killing 2 people near Fremont. Good evening and welcome to 13 minutes of nonstop news. I'm Daryl Kirkland-Morgan. In for Diane Larson, Lee Conklin has the night off. State troopers say 24-year-old Andrew Gans was speeding when he slammed into the van, causing both vehicles to burst into flames. This all happened just before 7:30 last night near mile marker 89 on the westbound side, just west of State Route 50. Here's 13 ABC's Zach Pitts with the latest.
It's a bumper-to-bumper standstill on the turnpike after a fiery crash. Troopers say they received calls of a man speeding on the turnpike. Eventually, the suspect sped by troopers.
He was going so fast, our troopers weren't able to do anything at the rate of speed he was going.
Ty Mahaffey, a lawyer out of Sylvania, was in a car with his family when the car came speeding past him.
When he blew by me on the driver's side, I was completely scared. He could barely hold the car. I could see that the car was lifting.
Mahaffey showed us the images he took on his cell phone just moments later.
This is a picture that I took immediately after. I thought this was a police officer, but it's actually like flames from the van. He could have easily hit us. It's so surreal to me.
The speeding car, driven by 24-year-old Andrew Gans of Ken, Ohio, slammed into the back of a van. Both vehicles burst into flames. The 2 people inside the van, 77-year-old Wilbur McCoy and his wife of the same age, Margaret. Both became trapped inside their vehicle, surrounded by flames, and were killed. The speeding driver was taken to a nearby hospital with only minor injuries. Authorities say he was going well over 100 miles per hour.
I just feel bad that the person who caused it gets to walk away, and some people lost their lives.
Authorities on scene tell us they suspect drugs or alcohol may have played a role in the crash. Zach Pitts, 13 ABC, Action News.
The driver that caused the crash has been charged with 2 counts of vehicular homicide. No court date has been set. The case will go to the grand jury. We're also learning more about the crash victims, Margaret and Wilbur McCoy, tonight. 13 ABC's Senna Orr joins us with that, as well as new images of the cars involved.
Well, Daryl, just like many assumed, this Toledo couple were on their way back home after a Thanksgiving dinner out of town, and new images of the crash aftermath show just how intense it was. This is all that's left of the fiery crash that killed a Toledo couple. 77-year-olds Margaret and Wilbur McCoy were known as Mac and Peg to friends and family. They were trapped inside this now burned and mangled Chrysler Town and Country minivan. The back end totally caved in from the high impact of the 2013 Infiniti M56. It's now unrecognizable. The suspect, Andrew Gans, was able to escape from his sedan before it burst into flames.
Coming down the turnpike, you think you're safe because there aren't any stoplights, aren't just going on. And I don't understand what that boy was thinking about.
McCoy's longtime neighbor, Bernadine Marsrose, says she couldn't believe the news when she heard it. She remembers the couple getting married 3 years ago and says she's going to miss seeing Mac around the neighborhood.
Oh, he was just a bubbly, full of information because he traveled all over the world. He was very well read, and he knew a lot about politics. He liked to talk about that.
Mac's sons declined an interview, but tell us their families are in shock. At the time, they tell us their father and stepmother were on their way back home from a Thanksgiving dinner with relatives in the Canton-Akron area. And state troopers now believe the suspect was barreling down the turnpike between the speeds of 125 to 150 miles per hour. We're told in the span of 17 miles he hit 2 other cars. Reporting live in Maumee, Senna Ora, 13 ABC Action News.
All right, thank you, Senna. Another family is remembering a loved one killed on the turnpike. The Spore Leader family held their second annual Toys for Tots drive in honor of Kyle Spore Leader. Kyle was a Marine. He and 3 friends were killed on a business trip on the turnpike 5 years ago. His family continues to honor his memory by carrying on with the Marines' Toys for Tots tradition.
We just figured that since the Moose Lodge was a family center, that what better place and what better way to honor his memory than by celebrating the 2 things that he enjoyed most, which was the family and the Marines.
Supporters helped fill 8 boxes of toys in just under an hour. Organizers say they are thrilled with the huge turnout. The Ohio State Highway Patrol is also investigating another fatal crash, this one in Ottawa County. It happened just before 1 this afternoon near the corner of Port Clinton Eastern and South Lightner Roads. Troopers say 43-year-old Jeffrey Sloan was headed eastbound when he drove off the side of the road, striking 2 highway signs, then several trees. That's when the vehicle caught fire. Sloan was pronounced dead at the scene. Law enforcement agencies across the state, including Toledo Police, issued nearly 950 citations over the Thanksgiving Day holiday. Now, it was part of a multi-agency effort called Lights for Lives. Last year, 12 people died in crashes in Ohio around this time. 7 of those deadly crashes were related to alcohol. This year, law enforcement responded to at least 3 fatal crashes in the last 3 days. Officers also say they were able to remove nearly 45 impaired drivers from the roads. Of the nearly 950 citations issued to drivers, more than half of them were for speeding. New tonight, police are investigating a drive-by shooting near Moody Manor. It happened just before 3 outside the apartment complex on Kent Street. Police tell 13 ABC the victim was walking in a field when a car pulled up, and that's when the passengers started shooting. The 16-year-old victim was shot in the shoulder, then taken to Mercy St. V's. So far, no suspects are in custody, but investigators believe it could be gang-related. Cleanup is still underway in Willard tonight after a train derailed, leaking toxic chemicals near a neighborhood. Officials say it all started Wednesday morning when 26,000 gallons of a highly flammable chemical spilled, causing hundreds to evacuate. A CSX spokesperson tells us about 20 homes are still being affected by the spill. Crews are working to remove the soil near those homes overnight. The EPA and Willard Fire Department are expected to meet tomorrow morning to decide when those families can return home. We have an update about Woodville Mall in Northwood. The Sentinel Tribune reports Bob Anderson, the Northwood City Administrator, is still pushing for the owners to tear down the mall. This comes days after the mall's owner said it was the city's fault that the building hadn't yet been demolished. The Woodville Mall has been closed since February of last year. A court previously ordered that the mall be demolished before May. The Glassman Drum and Bugle Corps have filed for bankruptcy, but that doesn't mean the group will be gone for good. The group is now working with the Glassman Alumni Association to continue planning events. This comes after the Alumni Association recently filed to become a nonprofit organization and hopes to receive donations to keep the Drum and Bugle Corps going. Well, 13 minutes of nonstop news continues now with Chief Meteorologist Jay Birchback. Jay, it was a little bit warmer today. Our temperature is going to be going up, staying the same, going down?
Up just a little bit. Not a big change here for the next couple of days, and pretty active by the end of next week, but the weekend looking quiet. In case you have family or friends in town trying to get home the next couple of days, things looking okay. No mega storms like we experienced last Tuesday and Wednesday. Quick peek at Viper HD shows the quiet weather all around us. We have 5 live radars, so we can zoom in, we can zoom out. Things looking nice, whether it's 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional. But there are your 5 live radars confirming fair skies for now. Speaking of fair skies for now, over to our weather computer. I want to thank Bill here from Devil's Lake, sent in this beautiful shot of the sunset tonight. What month does this look like? November? More like December, right? January with the thin ice. No ice fishermen out there yet, but definitely a sign of how cool it's been with a little dusting of snow up there at Devil's Lake. As far as the weather story now, all eyes on Ann Arbor tomorrow for local football fans. Michigan-Ohio State fans will detail that forecast for the big game. Sunday, more clouds roll in, slight chance for flurries into early next week, and then again a bigger system by the end of next week. We'll make sense of all that. I have a brand new predictor for you coming up.
All right, thank you, Jay. Well, shoppers have been out in full force all day for Black Friday savings. 13 ABC's Mackenzie Keyline was at Franklin Park Mall and caught up with shoppers today trying to get the best deals.
Been out since 8 o'clock. We finished up dinner and kind of went for it.
After the turkey and pie, it's Black Friday, one of the biggest shopping days of the year. Shoppers like Michelle Pfeffer stayed up all night looking to get the most bang for her buck.
It's the adrenaline rush and the fun. It's the chase.
To beat the Black Friday crowds, Michelle says she sticks to a list.
We had a game plan. We all got of course, we got our papers and had our ads and spent probably 4 or 5 hours coming up with lists, and I made a list and categorized everything.
Deals started rolling out Thanksgiving Day, with more than a dozen major retailers, from Target to Toys R Us, opening their doors Thursday night.
Madness, madness, pure madness.
Casey George and her friends have been shopping for more than 8 hours straight. She says she has scored savings up to $200.
My huge deals were at Toys R Us and the Disney store.
This Superman at the retails for more than $50, but Casey got it for just 20 bucks. While some shoppers braved the overnight crowds, others began their bargain hunting Friday morning.
It's a little different this year with them being open all night, so the crowds aren't so bad, but it's still a good, fun tradition.
The Black Friday morning crowds at Franklin Park Mall are thinner than normal. That's because of their new extended hours.
Normally we'd be getting up and coming here around 4, and it would be really busy. Of course, it's dead right now because they opened at 8 o'clock.
Reporting in Toledo, Mackenzie Keyline, 13 ABC Action News.
And while you're out shopping, we hope you'll help us help those in need. It's the 3rd annual Hope for the Holidays toy drive. Now, last year you helped us collect more than 18,000 toys for children in the area, and this year we've teamed up with Highland, Vito's Pizza, Galantacus Boysenholt and Schaefer, Dave White Chevrolet and Acura, and Jim White Toyota. And the highlight of the drive is our biggest donation drive through yet. It's 1 week from today, all day long at the 13 ABC studios. Our anchors and reporters will be at the Dorr Street entrance to the station, along with a lot of special guests, including Old St. Nick, to collect all of the donations. If you'd like to help, we're looking for new unwrapped toys. You can drop them off right here at the 13 ABC studio at the corner of Dorr and Richards, and a number of other locations, including the Salvation Army on North Erie or Teamsters Local 20 on Holly Street. For a full list of donation sites, visit our website, 13abc.com. The Perrysburg Fire Department helped people overcome life-changing muscle diseases today. It was their annual Fill the Boot campaign. Today, firefighters accepted donations for the Muscular Dystrophy Association at Levis Commons. This year, the department raised around $2,500 for the organization. If you're looking for a Christmas tree, which is right around the corner, the holidays are here, White House Tree Farms is officially open for the season. Anyone can come look for the perfect tree Thursday through Sunday until dark. Customers can also enjoy free hot chocolate, grilled hot dogs, and a horse-drawn wagon ride.
We're hoping families come out and enjoy the experience of walking on the fine farm, looking for the perfect tree. At the same time, enjoy each other, just have fun and enjoy the day.
If you come out tomorrow, Wheeler says there will be flat screen TVs broadcasting the Ohio State-Michigan game in the fields while you look for your perfect tree. The shops at Fall & Timbers flip the switch on at their annual Christmas tree lighting tonight.
3, 2, 1.
Many people bared the cold for the annual tree lighting in Maumee. Tonight's event also featured a parade, Santa Claus, and live entertainment.
We really want to be the center of the community and a place that we can come together, get together, have baton twirlers and floats and fire trucks, and just have a good time to celebrate the holidays.
Wow, that looks like a lot of fun. Well, if you missed tonight's event, you can still come out and ice skate or visit Santa Claus through the holiday season. 13 minutes after 11, and there's still much more ahead. A clumsy crook is behind bars, how he stumbled his way into custody. And the healthcare website shut down again, how long it will last. Plus, grab your game day gear. It's border battle time. Both teams rev up for the biggest Ohio game of the year, and 13 ABC Sports has full team coverage. Those stories plus what Jay says